தமிழா ஆங்கிலமா, ஆங்கிலம் கலந்த தமிழா, தமிழ் கலந்த ஆங்கிலமா, ரெண்டு விதமாக இருக்கு இல்லையா? டிகாக்ஷன் ஜாஸ்தியா, பால் ஜாஸ்தியா? பட் எல்லாருக்கும் தமிழ் புரியும் இல்லை, இங்கிலீஷ் புரியும். anybody but he is thumbs up for not knowing. It's a good sign. Swamiji said, be positive. For not knowing, you say this. So we'll have some mix of English and Bengali, English and some Sanskrit also. When we were there in Chennai, long ago, about 50 years back, ரொம்ப எலியினுடைய உபத்திரம் இருக்கும். அம்மா சொல்லுவாங்க, எலியெல்லாம் கொல்லக்கூடாதுப்பா, ரொம்ப தூரம் கூட்டு போய் விட்டுட்டு வா. ரொம்ப தூரம் கூட்டு விட்டு 2 நாள் கழிச்சு திரும்பி வந்துடுவாங்க. அதே மாதிரி நான் மார்ச் கடைசியில் தான் இங்கே இருந்தேன். என்னை எங்கேயோ தூரம் கூட்டு பெருள் மட்டும் கூப்பிட்டு போனாங்க. அது எலி திரும்பி வந்துடும். அதே மாதிரி இப்போ தான் மார்ச்சில் போனால் திரும்பி வந்துட்டானே சொல்லு. There used to be menace of rats long ago in Chennai. Now also it may be there, but it's less. So my mother used to say, don't kill rats, take them far away and leave them there. And after 2 days they come back. So I was dispatched to Belur by the end of March, and again I come back after 2 weeks. So the Swami in charge of the office informs me that being recorded and the whole world is viewing this, it appears. So he says, better you go for English. And for those who, I keep looking at the faces of people, if there is a question mark on their faces, I can pitch in a bit with Tamil. Not that we know English well. We know neither English nor Sanskrit nor Tamil. So somehow we are moving on. So the disclaimer first. The disclaimer is all that I am going to say is the gift, Tamil picture சொல்லுவாங்க, that I received at the feet of the By Swami Atmapriyanandaji, and some part from Swami Smaradanandaji, both of them have passed away. And Atmapriyanandaji mentored me for nearly 2 decades. When he came to Chennai in 1972, during the Platinum Jubilee celebration, and he died, as you know, in 1992, and I went to Belur in 78, but he used to come at least 3 times in a day, in a year, to Belur, and he was constantly in his room questioning, asking and learning. And as you know, he is a very, very insightful scholar, monk, with some realization. So any problem? Any problem? You're not able to hear? None of you? Why don't you come in front? The easiest is, there was a king who ordered that the entire country should be covered with leather so that people will not have the thorns pricked. One wise man came and said, why don't you wear shoes? So all of you can come in front, all the chairs are crying for accommodation. Rather than asking the mic man to increase the voice, you may as well come in front. Simple solutions always evade us. Swami Atmapriyanandaji was mentioning, as a college student, we used to attend his classes on the Gita. Of course, there are very few takers. Swami Atmapriyanandaji and Swami Smaradanandaji, both of them were not exceptional speakers like Swami Ranganathanandaji. but exceptional thinkers and very insightful in their understanding, particularly of the scriptures and the Bhagavad Gita. There are two classes of monks, as you know, who are eloquent speakers. The present hero is Swami Sarvapriyananda, the YouTube. And Swami Ranganathanji, we heard year after year in Chennai. Once he was here in Chennai, a brief halt. Then the manager came and said, Maharaj, are you here for tonight? Yes, I'm here for this evening. Can I announce a lecture? And you can. Just a 2-hour notice. And those communication was very poor. We didn't have the WhatsApp groups. So just a notice in front. And police had to be called to tackle the car traffic. So that was Ranganathanji. The glamour which he had and the powerful expression. But now, very few people listen to his talks, available also on the YouTube. So people keep changing. The glamorous people now, after a couple of decades perhaps, they will fade away and some other people will take. And the other group of Swamis were deeply insightful. Among them I mentioned Swami Smaranandaji and Swami Tapasyanandaji. The living saintly monk, scholar monk in Belur, Swami Bhajananandaji. He is not a powerful speaker, an extremely powerful thinker. What is the problem with these monks who are not eloquent or extremely fluent is because unless they find out the exact word, they will not proceed. They will be fumbling for the exact word, so they can't be fluent. People like us, any word goes, simply put it there. Anyway, nobody listens. And people who listen also don't retain, so everything goes. But everything does not go. How deeply we were impressed with Tapasyanandaji. I was madly running after him, searching, asking questions, and the insights which he gave me, I thought it's my duty. On my own, I invited myself to speak here. So I said that I should share these thoughts because they belong to Chennai Math, copyright. And Swami Smaranandaji, who taught us for nearly 2 decades as brahmacharis, is very fond of the Upanishads and the Bhagavad Gita. And he was the one person who repeatedly told us that the Bhagavad Gita, when it talks about bhakti, it is not bhakti to Sagana Brahman like Durga, Kali, etc. It is a devotion to the Avatarana Bhagavan. There are 2 kinds of devotion. One is devotion to the manifested Saguna Brahman, like the various deities, Durga, Kali, and here Meenakshi, Kamakshi, Lakshmi, Saraswati, and so on. They are deities, devatas. And Rama, Krishna, Buddha, Jesus, now Ramakrishna, they are not deities per se, although we use the word deity for them also, Ramakrishna Devata. They are the supreme being manifested in the human body, Avatarana Bhagavan. And the Bhagavad Gita, I heard from Swami Smaranandaji himself repeatedly said, I have not heard any other Swami in the Ramakrishna Sampradaya, the order, emphasizing this aspect of the Bhagavad Gita. I heard from revered Swami Suhitanandaji, who is the vice president of this order, who was very close to Swami Premishanandaji, a disciple of Holy Mother Sarada Devi, who also was considered a greatly enlightened monk. It seems he said the Bhagavad Gita is the spiritual biography of Sri Ramakrishna. What does that mean? That means that Avatarana Bhagavan, the Supreme Lord, when he comes as a manifested in a human form, he teaches, he plays around and does his divine Leela Then Bhagavan Sri Krishna said, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo vitti tattvataha. That's a very special kind of play rather than the play of the deities. Among the deities, the person who does the Leela is Leela Purushottama, is Sri Krishna. And in the Tamil lore, as you know, you have Thiruvilayadal, the play of Sri Shiva. Shiva is considered a very stern deity, always meditative and very harsh to people, but extremely compassionate. But he has lots of Thiruvilayadal, Leelas, miracles, thundering miracles, recorded in Shiva Leela Arnava in Sanskrit by Nilakantha Dikshita, the brother of Appaya Dikshita, who was one of the outstanding Advaitic scholars in recent times. Generally, the Leela is performed with Avatirna Bhagavan. Now, Swami Tapasyanandaji used to tell us about the purpose of why incarnation comes. All of you know the Bhagavan Sri Krishna himself expresses this idea in the Bhagavad Gita, the well-known verses in the Bhagavad Gita in the 4th chapter. He says, Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Once again, there's a very controversial verse. Tapasyan's insights I'll share with you in a moment. That's very clear. Bhagavan himself talks about the purpose of his divine incarnation. Incarnation, by the way, comes from the word karna. Karna means flesh. When the Supreme Spirit comes in a human body with flesh and bones, what the Christians call as the Word made flesh. The Word is the Omkara according to Hindu lore. It is called the Logos in Christianity. And Swami Vivekananda is fond of these few lines of Gospel according to St. John. In the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Hindu calls this Maya because the power of God, Paramesha Shakti. Taking hold of the Shakti, he comes down. So I begin with a chanting of how Swami Vivekananda conceived of Ramakrishna, the well-known verses, and go on from there. Om Shakti Samudra Samudhatarangam Darshita Prema Vijrumphitarangam Samshaya Rakshasanasha Mahastram Yami Gurum Sharanam Bhavavedyam Advaya-tattva Samahita Chittam Projvara Bhakti Patavrita Vrittam Karma Kalevara Madhubhuta Cheshtam Yami Gurum Sharanam Bhavavedyam Naradeva Deva Jaya Jaya Naradeva Namostu Te Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullaravindaya Tavatra Netra Yinatvaya Bharata Taila Purna Prajvalito Dhyanamaya Pradipaha Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. We begin by bowing down the Veda Vyasa, Vishala Buddhe, extraordinarily expansive, intensive, and extensive, illumined intellect. Vedavyasa's contribution is so enormous. We assume this is only one Vyasa, there could be several perhaps. He is the author of Ashtadasha Puranas, 18 Puranas. The largest is the Skanda Purana, about 100,000 shlokas. And the smallest is one of the Puranas, 25 to 30,000 shlokas, 18 of them. You can count how many millions the shlokas will be. Then he composed the Vedanta Sutras, called the Brahma Sutras, and he was the person who gave the Mahabharata. You know how many shlokas Mahabharata has? Once again, 100,000 shlokas of the Mahabharata. That was the Vishala Buddhi, extraordinary, expansive intellectual wisdom of Vedavyasa. So we bow down to him for having revealed this great scripture to us. And Sri Krishna, who is the Jagat Guru, who can be the Jagat Guru? Sri Ramakrishna says, only in the Avatara can be the Jagat Guru. Satchidananda coming in the form of a human being, not Satchidananda per se, manifesting in the form of a human being. Why human being? There's a psychological truth, well known. This is again due to Bhagavan Ramanujacharya, who said, our conception of reality depends upon our conception of ourselves. If I think of myself as a human being, I can only think of God as a huge human being. Swami Vivekananda very funnily explains this in the Bhakti Yoga as follows. If all the buffaloes of the world unite together and resolve about the nature of God, they will say God is a huge buffalo. If all the fishes in the world unite together, have a conference and find out the nature of God, they will say God is a huge fish. A human being cannot conceive of God anything other than in human terms. Just to distinguish between the ordinary human beings in terms of power, in terms of wisdom, in terms of power, prowess, you give the God few more hands. If you have 2 hands, we are so powerful. Kali has 4 hands. And the number of hands is a competition with the number of hands. Then you have Ashtabhuja. Then you have Dashabhuja. And you have Sahasrabhuja also. 1,000 hands. The human mind wants to conceive of God as something extraordinary, powerful. If we are powerful with just 2 hands, how much more she should be, Kali should be powerful or Shiva should be powerful? Of course, Shiva does not have more than 2 hands. That's why for Sri Ramakrishna, whenever his stotras are composed, particularly Swami Atmapriyanandaji, Dvibahu, he writes, Dvibahu Sri Ramakrishna. That means he just have 2 hands, like us. Unless we see God like us, we cannot relate it to him. We see, oh, he is extraordinary, he is tremendous, and we can't relate to him. One out of fear, and another out of an awareness of his extraordinary majesty which simply puts us off. The glorious example in the Bhagavad Gita is the Vishwarupa Darshana. Arjuna wanted to see the Vishwarupa Darshana of Sri Krishna. When Sri Krishna gave a glimpse of the Vishwarupa Darshana, he was almost fainting, trembling. So Gadgadam Bhida Bhida Pranambya, Gada Gada, his voice was choking, he could not even stand properly, sweating terribly, and shivering out of fear. He says, I can't bear this for me, go back to your ordinary human form, Manishya Rupa. We say God should come to us, oh God, when will you give your darshana? Fortunately for us, out of compassion, God does not come to us. We just can't bear. To be able to bear the power of God's darshana, you have to go through tremendous, resilient sadhana. That kind of sadhana which gives you the strength to be able to encounter the divine in all its majesty and glory. It is not easy. So God is so compassionate, He is far away from us. And we also say, oh God, when are you coming? But He knows, it's only lip service. There's a story of an old woman. She was very much attached to the world. just to show to others that she is so eager to encounter God and go to Him. Every day she used to the temple. Oh Lord, when will you take me to your feet? I'm tired of the samsara, I can't stay here anymore. Then the pujari, the pujak of the temple, understand the hypocrisy. He wanted to play a trick. He was hiding behind the image of the deity. And when this lady came and again said, "Oh Lord, when are you going to take me?" "But sir, I will come today at 12 midnight and take you." "Oh, no. I have the Annaprasana ceremony of my grandson. I have a marriage of my granddaughter." He started crying. See, all of us also, not that we're insincere, but there is some pull to the world which we can't really rise up. Sri Ramakrishna gives a very simple example. All of you know mongoose. Those are the Kiripida. So mongoose, the children urchins used to tie a brick to its tail. Whenever it wanted to enter its hole, this brick is pulling it back. So we have so many bricks of samsara tied to our tails. However much we try to go inside and deeply get absorbed in God, once again we are pulled back. But never mind. God is compassionate, He gives us infinite chances. Now, what is the purpose of incarnation? As I said, all that I'm going to talk about is Madhukari Bhiksha from Swami Atmapriyanandaji. You know Madhukari? Madhukari is like a bee collecting honey from various flowers. A genuine monk, peripatetic monk, parivrajaka, he doesn't ask for food only from a single place. The rule is he will go to 3 places, 3 houses, and ask for this much of food, not more than 3. And then be satisfied with that for the whole day. Next day he goes to some other 3 places. Even now it is being practiced by some people. Similarly, a monk, a sadhaka, a spiritual aspirant has to collect wisdom from so many wise men. Whenever you see a wise man, a monk, an illumined saint, go to him, sit at his feet, bow down to him with great humility, ask questions, serve him, then he will teach you. The Bhagavad Gita tells you, Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshaya. Tad vidhi, know the truth by pranipata, you bow down in humility, pariprashna, ask questions in humility, eager to know, sevaya, serve him. The easiest way to get Brahmajnana is to serve a Brahmajnani and please him so that he gives you jnana. There is an interesting incident from Brahmananda's life. You know how Brahmananda mentored this Madras Math. Swami Sarvanandaji was the Adhyaksha after Swami Ramakrishna-Vivekanandaji. So Brahmananda found like the foundation stone for the temple. And he told Sarvananda, you finish it as quickly as possible, I'll come and inaugurate it. Sarvananda said, we can't get 2 square meals in a day, how do you construct a temple? Within 9 months it was complete. Swami Brahmananda came to inaugurate the 10th month and said, I told Sri Ramakrishna, Prabhu, oh Lord, these are the only children, babies. What do they know? You have to construct the temple. And it was done. So all of us here, including all the monks serving here, are not even babies. What do we know? He expects us to depend upon him. Why has he put babies here? People who do not know, people who do not understand, people who don't have the competence, all of us. What competence do we have? What knowledge do we have? what strength of spirituality that do we have. But he wants to get work done through us because he wants to show his own glory. Pashyame yoga vaishwaram. So you depend on him, helplessly depend on him, and he shall get work done through such a person with simple, humble egoless. Now, apart from what is said about the Bhagavad Gita, the purpose of incarnation, there is a remarkable verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam which is less known. Swami Atmapriyanandaji repeatedly used to mention this to us. This verse occurs in the very beginning of the Bhagavatam. Those of you who have not read the Bhagavatam, it's a huge text, very difficult to understand. You may refer to Sri Anna Subramaniam's book Bhagavata-saram with a simple Tamil meaning and the original. It was out of print for a long time, perhaps they are reviving it now. It's one of the very simple texts we used to study to understand the Bhagavatam. In the very beginning, there are two verses which I'll read out and explain. Kunti, all of you know Kunti? She was the Janani, the mother of the Pandavas, a remarkably wise lady, highly spiritual, but speaks very less in the whole of Bhagavatam, the Mahabharata. Apart from Nakula and Sahadeva, Sahadeva was also a remarkably spiritual genius, but spoke very less in the whole of Bharata. Arjuna, of course, is very vocal. What is the purpose of a divine incarnation of God? Why does God come as a human being? Kunti says 8.35 and 8.36. Bhavesmin krishyamananam avidya kama karmabhi shravana smaranarhani karishyanditi kechana Srinvanti gayanti grinanti avikshashah smaranti nandanti tavehitam janaha tayeva pashyanti chirena tavakam bhrava pravaho paramam padambujam. Bhavesmin krishyamananam. Bhava means the samsara. Krishya means troubled, tormented, tortured. All of us are tormented in this world, whether you like it or not. We are facing endless troubles at every moment. We may try to forget it and wish it away, but again samsara is on us. Krishyamananam. Because of what? Avidya kama karmabhi. Set phrase, Bhagavan Shankara, the great Advaitam, is very fond of this phrase. He'll always say avidya kama karma. Why are we suffering? Any idea? Buddha said we are suffering because of desire. Why did we do karma? Because of kama. Because of desire, we want to engage in karma. And why did we desire? Because of avidya. We are Nitya Shuddha Mukta Purna Svabhava, that's what the Vedanta says. We are Swayam Sampurna, we are full, we are perfect. But still we feel we are not so perfect. We are not Purna. And in order to prove that we are Purna, we have to get something else. So we run behind so many things and try to get them out of desire. If you are full to the brim, you will have no desire. Kama anya kamayate manyamana sa kama bhirijayate tatra tatra paryapta kamasya kritatmanastu yahaiva sarve praviliyanti kama. Mundakopanishad. People who have so many desires go to various places to fulfill their desires. A person is apta kama, that means all desires have been obtained already. Then he remains full to the brim, he doesn't desire anymore. So apta kama is a very expressive phrase used in the Upanishads. And the Brihadaranyaka phrase, you remember, these are standard phrases used by Shankaracharya also, Upanishadic phrases. Atmakama, Aptakama, Akama. A person Atmakama desires only the Atman, yes. Atmaritareva syad, Atma-tattva manavaha, Atmanyeva cha santushtatasya karyam na vidyate. Bhagavad Gita. He is Atma santushta, Atma Rata, Atma Arama, Atma Krida, Atmapriyananda. He is simply absorbed in his own self. He doesn't want anything else. Such a person becomes Aptakama because all desires have been achieved. Then what happens? He becomes Akama. There is no desire at all. So the phrase is in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Atmakama, Aptakama, Akama. Avidya makes us feel ignorance that we are not Purna. We need to achieve Purnata by getting something. So we endlessly chase so many worldly objects to achieve Purnata but fail. So avidya pushes into karma because we want to achieve Purnata, assuming that we are not Purna. Karma is preceded by Kama. Avidya makes you chase Kama through Karma. Avidya, Kama, Karma. What happens when you do Karma? Simple formula. You get Karma Phala, the fruits of your work. What kind of fruits? Bhagavad Gita, Anishta Mishram, Mishtam Mishram Cha, Trividam Karmana Phalam, Bhavat-tatyayanam Pretya Nata Sannyasinam Kuchit. Three kinds of karma, phala. One is sweet, the other is bitter, the other is mishrita, combination. Anishtam, Ishtam, Mishram. This comes to a person only if he is ignorant. Atyagi does not renounce the fruits of action, and not a person who is a tyagi who renounces the fruits of action. Avidya, Kama and Karma. Bhavesmin Krishyamananam, those who are tormented in the world because of avidya, Kama, Karma bhi, Tritiya, Vavacham. How do they get out of this? The one easy way is Shravana Smarana Rahani Garishan. Shravana, they will listen to the glory of God, various Leela of God, that's what all of you are doing. Just listen, listen. Nowadays people are coming back to this listening. Once upon a time people used to read much. Now nobody wants to read anything. Everything is there in the mobile phone, you go on. Or both the ears which have been left open by the Creator, you want all the time to plug it artificially. At least you are listening constantly. Shravana. And after Shravana, what do? Smarana. Means constantly think about it. Contemplate it. Shravana, Smarana. When Swami Smarananandaji, about whom I was mentioning, got his name, he told us, then he's very happy. Smaranananda. Then one of the old monks at that time, oh, Smaranananda, very difficult name to pronounce. People will call you Maranananda. Then he said, Maharaj, it's one of the finest. A sadhu actually finds joy in death. Vivekananda said, who is a sannyasin? Sannyasa is love of death. Everybody wants to live, sannyasa wants to die. Die to what? Die to his littleness, die to his selfishness, dies to his narrowness, dies to all that is negative and all that is unspiritual. A sannyasin finds ananda in marana. So such a person finds easy solution to escaping the world by smarana and shravana. He listens and then he remembers. So how will he listen, how will he remember unless there is a Leela? What will he listen? So next sentence, Shrunvanti, he listens, Gayanti, he sings the glory of the Lord, Grinanti Abhikshnashaha, constantly he dwells on his glories, Smaranti, he remembers, Nandanti, he is so joyful, Tave hitam janaha, all your Leela, he is constantly dwelling in them. Macchitta madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam. The 10th chapter of Bhagavan will again talk about this. Tayeva pashyanti acharena tamakam. Acharena, quickly, such a person crosses over this sea of samsara and attains to at lotus feet. So the Lord creates certain scenes for meditation. So many themes and scenes he creates on which man can meditate. Ordinary jivas like us can meditate. By thinking of any one of them, he gets liberation. You need to have a theme. You need to create a kind of a drama so that you can constantly dwell on them. How many themes have been created by Sri Krishna Avatara and Rama Avatara through Ramayana and Mahabharata and Bhagavatam. You think of Sri Krishna as Balagopala, think of him as Gopi Vallabha, think of him as Gita Acharya, think of him as Mathuradhisha, in any form. Whatever you like, whatever appeals to you, go that for that form. Ramachandra. In Sri Ramakrishna's case, M recorded the Gospel of Ramakrishna. Also, Mahendranath Gupta has captured, as it were in a video. We don't get it in video, we get it in audio. Every day Miss Ramakrishna is speaking to people, singing and dancing, going into samadhi every day of the gospel. You read a page and meditate. Imagine that you are in Dakshineshwar. Older Swamis used to instruct us. Every day visit Belur Math, visit Dakshineshwar, visit Kavarpakur, visit Jairambati. Once you have to see them, of course, or you can see them in pictures and films. Very difficult to concentrate upon God and meditate and do japa. Patanjali, the great Muni, gave us the Yoga Shastra, and he said, Chitta Vritti Nirodha is yoga. What is Chitta Vritti Nirodha? Chitta is the mind. Unfortunately, very poor translation in English. English doesn't have the proper words. It is not equipped to describe spiritual truths, just like Sanskrit is not equipped to describe technical, scientific words. What is mind? Mind is thoughts. Constant thoughts are arising in the mind. And you are asked to quell these thoughts. Who will quell it? The mind itself. Is it a reasonable proposition? I should ask Patanjali what kind of sutra you have written there. Chitta Vritti Nirodha, Chitta is full of vrittis, constantly arising. Just like saying, the Samudra, you have seen the Samudra, you are living by the side of the ocean here. The ocean's waves should be calmed down. The ocean's waves are calm, it's not called an ocean, it's got a lake. Ocean means the waves roaring and gushing and rising and falling. That is the ocean. Chitta means the waves, Chitta means the vrittis. The vritti nirodha takes place, the Chitta becomes no Chitta. So what kind of practice he has given us? Those who have genuinely practiced yoga will know it's almost an impossible task. Almost impossible. Those who have done it perhaps are very, very extraordinary. I don't know whether anybody has purely followed the Patanjala path and attained liberation. I don't know, we don't have the statistics. But what kind of practice is given us? And everybody now is running after Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, and yoga is everywhere. Yoga is a great invitation to sleep. You know why? Chitta is constantly breaking out into the vrittis and waves. You try to quell them, you try to pull them, and the vrittis are to be quelled. And the energy which is put there, you can't have sufficient energy and goes to go to sleep. Now, this question was raised by Arjuna himself. You know the famous shloka, Chanchalam himanat Krishna pramati padavadridam tasyaham nigraham manye vayuriva sudushkaram. It's just like catching the air. The air is going there, I want to catch. Can we catch air? So the mind is terrible, breaking into waves, it's restless. It's almost impossible to quell and calm the mind. So I can't do this. Then the famous answer Bhagavan Sri Krishna gives, Abhyasena Kaunteya Vairagyena Jalikyate. Whenever there are devotees convention, Bhakta Sammelana, etc., the standard question all the devotees ask, the standard answer we monks always give. Nobody understands the question or the answer, but both of them seem to be satisfied. This is the game which I have been seeing for 50 years. I gave a different kind of answer. One devotee is asking, mind cannot be controlled, cannot be quelled. I said, why do you want to control the mind? Patanjali says what he says. You analyze it. What is your problem? Mind, so many distracting thoughts, bad thoughts, wicked thoughts, they come. What should I do? I can't remove them. Why should I remove them? Should I keep these thoughts? Wait, let us argue. What is today? Today is 11th of April 2025. Do you meditate every day? Yes. Today did you meditate in the morning? Yes. Did you meditate in 11th of April 2024? Of course I did. 11th of April 2023? Yes. So what kind of bad thoughts came to you on 24 and 25? Do you remember? No, I don't remember. This also you will not remember. Why do you worry about something which you are not going to remember anyway? This is Vedanta. Vedanta says ignore them. Don't take them seriously. If you try to control the mind will become more important. It's, let me see whether you can control me. You do what you like. So what is the solution? Put your mind on God. Mayeva manadatsva vai buddhim niveshaya madchitta madgata prana bodhayantam parasparam. You tell the Lord, say, I am not able to control you. You say, you fix your mind on me. I can't. I will not. What kind of solution you are giving me? Then the Lord out of compassion says, all right. You can't fix it on me? No. You are sitting there in a picture, I try to picture it, and the mind is running here and there. So why don't you get awake and go with me? Lord said, yes, I will do that. Wherever your mind goes, I will also go. Understand the solution? Then is there any problem? The Lord says, if you can't put your mind on me, I will go with your mind wherever the mind goes. Excellent solution. Wherever the mind goes, the Lord goes there. Then what's the problem? This is what Kunti Devi says. Avatara comes to create some pictures, not still pictures, not black and white, not even colored pictures, but videos. This is the latest trend now. You have videos there in your mobile. So keep the Lord with you all the time and ask Him to move with you wherever you go. Are you ready? I am not going to Howrah, I am going to Kumbh Mela. The Lord says, you pack everything, I am also going with you. Simple. Wherever you go, keep the Lord with you. You know who taught this? In the Ramakrishna Leela, the person who taught this was the wife of Mathura Baba. Mathura Baba was very suspicious of this person. is voluptuous. And he said, Putra Babu, तुम्हें जेखरे जावे, Baba के लिए जावे. Wherever you go, take Ramakrishna with you. Then Ramakrishna also went. So what a wise spiritual counsel. Wherever you tell the mind, oh mind, wherever you go, keep the Lord with you. And the Lord is most willing to go. He also wants to move here and there. When he becomes Avatirana Bhagavan, he doesn't want to sit still like this in the temple. He wants to run about here and there, look at the mischief Sri Krishna perpetrated, look at the kind of Leela which Ramakrishna went through. He always wants to move around everywhere. And he wants to catch hold of the devotees' minds and constantly move with them. So this is called Leela Chintanam. In the Vaishnava Shastra, the devotional literature, this is a very, very important place. Leela Chintanam. Leela Chintanam means constantly think of the Leela of God. Close your eyes, try to meditate on Sri Ramakrishna, the mind is restless. Just change it a little, tweak it a little, as they say. Imagine that you're sitting in the room of Ramakrishna and Dakshineshwar. Rakhal, Narayan, everybody is assembled. Sri Ramakrishna asks Narayan to sing. Narayan is singing, Sri Ramakrishna is going to Samadhi. And he is also singing, he is dancing, everybody dancing around him. Such a great mark of joy. You sit there, participate, you have this kind of meditation. You will not know how many hours have passed. You find it so difficult to meditate. How suddenly, it's just like seeing a movie. You are seeing only the Avatara's divine movie. Nobody feels bored seeing a movie. 3 hours, 4 hours, just like that pass. So create a divine movie, but you can't create it. But Lord has created this through His incarnation. This is the significance of what Tapasya said. He creates infinite themes for meditation, contemplating on any one of which the jiva can be liberated. You take anything. Or you take the Kashipur where Ramakrishna is suffering terribly. All the would-be sannyasins at that time, little boys were serving him. How much of samadhi, how many talks went place. Narayan is crying for his little samadhi. That Anta Leela of Ramakrishna, whole life will go thinking about this. Or think of Sri Ramakrishna sadhana as depicted in the Leela Prasanga, the great master, Ramakrishna's divine play. How many kinds of sadhanas he practiced. Take anything, take any portion of Sri Ramakrishna, the divine incarnation is Vishnu Devata, and try to practice. You can't do this to Kali and Durga. We don't know what except the Puranas. Durga, you think of Mahishasura, and then Durga killing Mahishasura, you feel terribly frightened. So much of sweetness and so much of power is packed in this Leela of Sri Ramakrishna. Now about the Avatara himself, Bhagavan begins by talking about himself as the Avatara. Turn to the 4th chapter, all of you have the Bhagavad Gita. Turn to the 4th chapter, 6th verse. Bhagavad Gita shloka number 6, 7, 8, 9, which are well known. And one more comment. The whole of Bhagavad Gita, you will see Arjuna Vacha, Dhritarashtra Vacha, Sanjaya Vacha. Nowhere is mentioned Sri Krishna Vacha. What is said there? Shri Bhagavan Vacha. That means Sri Krishna is speaking there not as Sri Krishna, but as Avatirana Bhagavan, as an incarnation was come down as an avatara. Always you should remember this. He was remembering his real identity as the Bhagavan, and as Swami Sarada Devi depicts, he was poised in a state called Bhava Mukha, which is the state of the Avatara, state of Ishvara. And from that position he is talking. You can refer to verse number 6. Bhagavan says, what is the secret of incarnation? Ajopi sannabjayatma bhutanam ishvaropi san prakritim swamavadhisthaya sambhavam yatmamayaya yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे जन्म कर्म च मे दिव्यं एवं यो वेत्ति तत्त्वतः त्यक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म नेति मामेति सोऽर्जुन. These 4 verses are extremely well known, describing the Avatara-tattwa, the very beginning of the Bhagavad Gita. The highlight in this is Janma karma cha me divyam. Arjuna, remember my Janma, my birth and karma, my Leela are divine. They are not ordinary human dealings, they are divine. A person, a devotee, a sadhaka who knows this, evam yo vetti, knows how tattvataha. Mark this phrase. Tattvataha occurs in the Bhagavad Gita in so many times. The last chapter, it occurs twice in the same shloka, first and the second lines. So tattvataha means, tat means that, tattva means thatness. Tattvataha means as per thatness. What does it mean? Tattva means the deeper significance, the real significance. He who knows me in truth and in reality. St. John's Gospel, thou shalt know the truth, and the truth shall make thee free. It is knowing the truth as it actually is which frees you from bondage. So tattvataha, a person who knows me, knows my real nature, and knowing the real nature of God may be easier, but knowing the real nature of the avatara of God is most difficult. So Ramakrishna says in the Gospel, only a few rishis knew that Ramachandra was an avatara. All the rishis said, I know you as Dasharatha's beta. We meditate in the Satchidananda, the supreme reality. To know the Avatara-tattwa is the most difficult because Lord, Supreme Being, is infinite and absolute. He is transcendental, omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent. How can you even imagine, leave alone think, that an infinite absolute reality can come, descend as a human being in this little body? Swami Shivanandaji Maharaj used to say, we saw Sri Ramakrishna and thought of him as a great saint, a realized soul, even a Siddha Mahapurusha, even an avatara. Then he adds, how could we ever know that the little frail body of his contained millions of universes? Brahmanda pipidikanta janani yavai jagan mohini nilata sasam says, Brahmanda pipilika janani, starting from the Brahmanda up to a small ant. Oh mother, you have given birth to all of them. Millions of universes come from him. Ananta Brahmanda rakhe udara puri. There's a song in Ramakrishna used to sing. Ananta Brahmanda, infinite universes are keeping in your room and then giving birth to millions and millions of universes. Is it possible? It is not possible if you think of him as an ordinary human being, even a divine being. Avatara-tattwa simply beats all Vedanta. That's why Ramakrishna said, towards the end of his life, to dispel Narayan's last doubt. Narayan said, he is just struggling to live, he may pass away any moment. The prana is struggling, clamoring for release. Now he is unable to speak, unable to talk, unable to eat. In this condition, if you can clearly say, I am the incarnation, Avatara, I will believe. Candidly, clearly, unmistakably, Sri Ramakrishna said, even now you have doubt, Jai Ram, Jai Krishna, say Idaning Ramakrishna, Kintu Tor Vedantir Dike Noy. He who was Rama, he who was Krishna, is in this body Ramakrishna, but not in the Vedantic sense. What does it mean? In Vedanta there is no avatara. Shakti avatar. Ramakrishna used to say, Shakti Samudra Samudra Tarangam. Avatara is of the Shakti, the Brahman cannot have the avatara. And therefore Vedanta always struggles with avatara. Explaining these verses, the great Advaitin, Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, as if he has taken a body, as if he is playing with all this. Iva is the Sanskrit word. If somebody asks you, can you describe Advaita in just one word or two letters? Immediately say, Iva. As if. Nothing has happened actually. As if it has happened. So he says, my janma and karma are divine, divyam. Anybody who knows it in truth and reality, after giving up the body, he comes to me. Now, what is the difference between a divine incarnation who also is a human being like us? We have not seen Sri Ramakrishna, but those who saw him at that time, those who lived at that time, actually see him, they were just like him. He was also crying, he was also moving around, he was also suffering, he was also having so many bodily ailments and so on. Now, the difference is, because of Maya, caught in Maya, we all suffer. There is one explanation given. We are Maya Adhina. We are under the clutches of Maya and we suffer. And in incarnation is Maya Adhisha. He is beyond Maya and he controls Maya. You go to 7th chapter, verse number 14. A very important verse. Devi Hyesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Nuratyaya Mahame Vaye Prapadyante Maya Bhetam Tarantite. My Maya is terrible. It is Trigunatmika Maya, Sattva Rajasa Tamas mixed. Duratyaya, extremely difficult to cross. Then what is the procedure to cross over Maya? Mame Vaye Prapadyante, a person comes to me with the Maya Adhisha and surrenders to me, Prapadyante, Etam Mayam Taranti, goes beyond Maya. Here, there is a great insight which we received from Swami Mukhanandaji, who was the Acharya in the Probationary Training Center at Belur Math. He was a sort of a genius. And he said, see, look at this verse. How do you cross over Maya? We are all caught up in Maya. Anybody who is not released from Maya? No. Maya means we are caught up in duality, we are caught up in the mind and the body and the senses and sukha dukkha, sorrow and joy, depressions and confusions. All kinds of things we are completely caught up. How do we get out of it? Sri Ramakrishna gives a very simple formula. Remember those who read the Gospel. Ramachandra, Lakshmana and Sita Devi is walking in one line. Sita is in the middle, Lakshmana is at the back, Rama is in the front. You remember this? Rama is Avatirna Bhagavan, Maya Adhisha. Lakshmana is the Jiva, who is Maya Adhina, and Sita Devi is Maya. Now, in order to see Sita Devi, there are two ways in which Lakshmana can approach the problem. One is, call up Rama. This is Lakshmana speaking. Can you hear me? Yeah, tell me, what's the problem? See, because Sita is in between, I am not able to see you. Please ask her to move away. Then Rama calls Sita, please move away. Lakshmana wants to see me. And quietly, Mahamaya moves away and you see. This is the meaning of this verse. Mame vaye prapatyante, take refuge in Ishvara, who is Mayadhisha, in order to become free from Maya Adhinatva to Maya Adhishatva. This is the Vedantic method. Now, Sri Ramakrishna says in the Gospel, you may remember, Kalite Tantrair Math, Vedir Math Noi. In the Kali Yuga, the doctrines of Tantra take a prominence and not the Vedic doctrines. It could be interpreted in so many ways. One way is, don't adopt this kind of method. In Kali, Kalau Sambhati Shakti, unions are very strong. Everybody has unions, beggars have unions, sweepers have unions. Immediately they take the streets and then begin to agitate. Don't complain against anybody. A patient, old patient suffering, constantly calling for the nurse. The sister gets irritated. Why are you calling me again and again? Oh, why are you saying like this? I am suffering. And the big doctor comes once in a week for the round. See, everything is well. No, the sister is not attending me. He calls the sister and fires her. He goes away. After a week he will come. And next day he is calling the sister. Why are you calling me? Go to the big doctor. You complain against me? Very dangerous. In Kali Yuga, don't complain against anybody. This is nurses' union. So don't complain against Mahamaya. Don't go and tell Ramachandra, ask Sita to go away. Then what is the way? Go to Sita herself. Maya, capital is M, and put one Maha before that. What do you get? Mahamaya. Then pray to Mahamaya, Mother, I am helpless. Unless you move away, how can I see the Lord? Oh, my child, don't cry, I move away. It is much safer. And after all, mothers are so compassionate to children. This is the path taught by Sri Ramakrishna. Directly go to Mahamaya, go to Mother Kali and pray intensely. She shall listen to you. You can't call Brahman so easily. Brahman is very tough. Ashabdamasparshamarupamavyayam tatharasam nityamagandhavachayat anadjanantam mahatav param dhruvam nichayatan mrityumukhat pramachyate kathopanishad. So very difficult qualities. Don't go to Brahman, go to Mahamaya. So this is another interpretation of this shloka. So the avatara is the avatara of Maya. Remember, this avatara is not avatara of Brahman. Avatara, divine incarnation, is the avatara of the Shakti, which is Mahamaya, which is the supreme power of God. Paramesha Shakti. Now, what does an avatara do? Avatara releases you from bondage immediately and quickly. It's called Muktidata. You refer to 8th chapter, 16th verse. The only way you have to get release is directly go to God and He will release you. Christ also said, "Come unto me, ye that are weary and heavy laden, and I will give thee rest." Sri Ramachandra said, Sakrideva prapannaya tavasmi diyachate abhayam sadavabhutebhyo dadadyetat vratam mama. In the Ramayana, Vibhishana is coming for Sharanagati. He is coming from Agasha Marga, standing there. Ramchandra said, stop, stand there. He called a quick council of war, meeting, democracy. He called up the parliament and said, his parliament consists of Jambavan, the old wise bear, and Hanuman and so many. Many people said, no, don't accept him. He could be a Guptachar, he could be a spy coming from Ravana. Then he turned to Hanuman. Vishala Buddhi, Buddhimatam Varishtham Anjaneya. Anjaneya said, oh Rama, even if Ramana comes and asks for refuge, you have to give it. That is your brother. The famous statement he made, Sakrideva Prapannaya Tavasmiti Achade Abhayam Sarvabhutebhyo Dadare Tapdatam Mama. This is my brother. Abhayam Sarvabhutebhyo. Sannyasins, all of us wearing the Girva robe, are bound by this vrata, by sannyasa mantras. Abhayam Sarvabhutebhyo Dadami. It is interpreted in two ways. Bhutebhyo could be Panchami or Chaturthi. No creature need to be afraid of me. I don't need to be afraid of any creature. The whole thing is based on Abhayatva. Abhaya is such an important quality by which the Devi Sampad Bhagavan begins. Abhayam Satta Samshuddhi. And Swami Vivekananda discovered a definition of Brahman which was not hitherto known. He said, Abhayam Vai Brahma. So, Brahma Bhavanan Lokat Punaravartinarjuna Mamapetya Kundeya Punarjanmana Vidyate. Now, I will end by giving you another very important insight given to us by Swami Atmapriyanandaji. In the Bhagavad Gita, three words constantly occur. Guhya, Guhyatara and Guhyatama. I don't know how many of you have read the Gita fully. Please do it. This is my earnest request to all of you. There is no text in the world like Bhagavad Gita. You don't need to go to many texts. Just 700 verses. Sri Bhagavana Vacha is much less. Read the original, not translation. Take the help of translation. Read the original. The Swami Tapasyanji has a remarkable book published by Chennai Math. Bhagavad Gita, the universal scripture of mankind. I had the privilege as a college student to listen to him day after day, Sunday after Sunday. Then he earnestly requested him, Maharaj, you should now put all this in writing, otherwise it should be lost. He was not so willing. I went on pleading with him, Maharaj, the whole thing will be lost. Please write a book. Put all this in writing. What a book it is. Those of you who do not have it, now purchase. It's not open. The bookstore is not open. Please take this book. At least keep it under your pillow. Read a few pages every day. There is no book like the Bhagavad Gita. Here, he talks about Guhya. Guhya means very secret. Anything which is sacred has to be kept carefully as a secret. Sridhara Swami, the great commentator of the Gita, says, Guhyam Dharma Jnanam. The knowledge of Dharma is Guhya. Jivatma Jnanam, Jivatva-tattvam, Guhyataram, Paramatma Jnanam, Guhyatamam. That's one way of interpreting. Swami Atmapriyanandaji interpreted it was remarkably. Perhaps he is the only Swami I have interacted with in my 50 years of life in this order. Nobody has pointed this out, that Guhyatama, whenever it occurs in the Bhagavad Gita, it refers to Avatara-tattwa. Interestingly, how many places do you think this Guhyatama occurs? Such an important phrase. Just 3 places. Just note down these. 3 places where Guhyatama occurs: 9.1, 15.20, 18.64. 9th chapter, 1st verse, 15th chapter, 20th verse, and 18th chapter, 64th verse. He calls it Guhyatama. And 18.63, just the previous verse, You can refer to 18.63, last chapter, 63rd verse. Got it? Idite jnanamakyatam guhyad guhyataram maya umrishayta daseshena yadechasi tatha kuru. O Arjuna, I have imparted this knowledge of the Gita, which is this jnana, which is guhyad guhyataram. Note this word. He does not say guhyatama, he says guhyad guhyataram, relative, not superlative. Then very next verse he says sarva guhyatamam bhuyaha sriname paramam vacha. Again I tell you bhuyaha, again I am telling you Arjuna, paramam vacha, my supreme statement, which is Sarva Guhyatamam. It is the secret of all secrets. Followed by two remarkable verses, oft quoted, oft remembered, and least understood. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame veshasi satyam te pratijane prayosi me. This occurs also at the last verse of the 9th chapter. The small difference in the second line. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tva sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami mashacha. Ramanujacharya, the great Vishishtadvaita Acharya, he says the Charama Shloka in the Gita, the supreme, the best shloka in the Gita, where the Bhagavan invites you to take refuge in him, promising, I will release you from all sins. What a tremendous invitation by the Bhagavan, Avatirna Bhagavan, to all of us to take refuge in him and get liberated. So the Guhyatama also, remember, if I had a chance next time, I'll try to explain it more. And Bhagavan himself declares that he is incarnation. That's a very interesting thing. Bhagavan declares that he is incarnation. You can refer to the 10th chapter, the Vibhuti Yoga, 13th verse. Where Arjuna says, Ahustvam rishayas sarve devarshan naradastata asito devalo vyasa swayam jaiva pravishime. Ahuhu, people say, Ke ahuhu rishayaha sarve, all the rishis, all the great wise men, illumined men, they say, like Devarshi, Narada, Asita, Devalo, Vyasa, all these great saints and sages and rishis say, what do they say? That you, Krishna, is a divine incarnation, you are an avatara. And, note the last few words, Swayam Jaiva Pravishime, Swayam, you also, yourself, declare that you are the incarnation. This is the beauty of a divine incarnation. He reveals himself and repeatedly says, I am the supreme incarnation, come unto me, take refuge, I will release you. But human beings, with little faith that we are, we never heed to his words. Swayam Jaiva Pravishime. Here, I will tell you, in the Ramakrishna incarnation, I had the privilege of meeting one very old Swami, who passed away, Swami Dharmananda, who lived in Kashi for a long time. They were all disciples of either Brahmanandaji or Holy Mother Sarada Devi. Dharmananda is very close to Master Moshe M. M repeatedly used to tell them, Swayam Jaiva Pravishime. How many times we have heard from Thakur Sri Ramakrishna declaring that I am the divine incarnation, I am Rama, I am Krishna, I am once again come in the body of Ramakrishna for Loka Kalyana, for emancipating this world. How many times we heard from him, from his own mouth, by his own testimony. Swayam Jaiva Praveshi. Now these are some of the insights which I got, which I sketchily presented before you, read the Gita repeatedly, at least a few verses every day. Make it a point. Gita is a text which just you can't ignore. Many people are so enamored of the various Advaita texts nowadays because the YouTube everywhere Advaita is going on. All that is good for spiritual infotainment. You know the infotainment? This word is very common now. Information and entertainment. You can have, because it's very beautiful, mesmerizing to listen to this. But I assume that every one of you who come to this Chennai Math, which is a great Tirtha Kshetra, which is a Mukti Kshetra, and which is a place which will elevate you and give you liberation. And I assume all of you are mumukshus, aspiring for liberation, and all of you are sincere sadhakas. So I spent so much time describing this only on this assumption. Don't take this casually. Read the Gita, try to meditate on the points which I discussed. And there are so many other points I need to discuss. Some other time, let me see if the Lord wills, inshallah. Inshallah is Swami Vivekananda is very fond of this phrase. Muslims always say inshallah. If the Lord wills, some other opportunity I will give. I will try to convince these people to call me some other time. Because the Gita, series of pravavachanas of the Gita giving some insights is very much necessary. This one text is necessary for your sadhana. We do not need so much, we are very ordinary beings, our time is also limited. So much of texts are there. Ananta Shastram Bhuvedidavyam Alpaschakalo Bahavo Viviknaha Yat Sarabhutam Tadupasitavyam Hamso Yada Kshira Vivambu Mishram. Ananta Shastram. Millions and billions of Shastras are there. Bahu Vedita, so much is there to know. Alpascha Kala, time is so limited. Bahavascha Vighna, so many obstacles. You want to do something, there's an obstacle. Either the body doesn't cooperate, the mind doesn't cooperate, some crisis in the family, so many things come. What do you do? It's sarabhutam tadupas. Take the essence, just like a hamsa proverbially is supposed to take only the milk from a mixture of milk and water. So the Gita gives the Upanishad Sara, Sarva Shastra Sara, Sarva Vedartha Sara, Sarva Upanishad Sara. This has been vouched again and again by all the acharyas. Every acharya has commented on the Gita. You can't be an acharya unless you have a commentary on the Gita. Even people who belong to other walks of life, like Subramanya Bharati, is a wonderful commentary on the Gita. Lokmanya Tilak has a commentary on the Gita. Vinoba Bhave has a commentary. Mahatma Gandhi has a commentary. Gita, one universal text. Tapasya used to tell us, Gita is like the sugar cane, karma. Everybody will get some juice. Even a little child without teeth, it will also can chew and get some juice. And people who are deeply entering in it will get more juice. So everybody has something for the Gita. The Gita, Sugita, Kartabhya, Kemattat, Kemanyat, Shastra, Anyabhi. Gita should be Sugita, should be constantly chanted and sung. What is the use of doing other Shastras? So this is the Mahatmya of the Gita. Thank you so much for attending me, this lecture. And take something home, think about them, and start reading the Gita today from 9 p.m. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna-Vivekananda